Hello, blessed souls. Welcome to Brainy Twin Gemini. First and foremost, I want to thank you all so much for the love, the likes, the subs, and the comments. If this video resonates, kindly hit the like, sub, comment, and notification bell for future videos. In this video, I'm going to talk about the number one block in the twin flame journey dynamic, and that is ego. The number one block is ego, and why is that? Ego is mind, and ego carries all sorts of baggage and poison within our minds. Ego is overthinking, chronic thinking of past and future, and ego is definitely the number one block in the twin flame dynamic. It's because as twins, when we come into each other in physical essence, it's a love that's not known. And we come in, we experience all sorts of signs and symptoms that this is truly a twin flame. And then, regrettably, we go our separate ways and do our healing in isolation. And while we're healing, sometimes the ego is the nemesis of any momentum forward. There's so much out there. There's a lot of false truths. And I'm speaking from one's experience, my being essence of this journey. And by the grace of God, we were brought together in physical essence. And I do know that it is the most excruciating soul pain that you will ever endure in this journey, being apart from each other, because the love you shared while in physical essence was pure, raw, and vulnerable. And there is so much shenanigans out there, and I can only speak from one's experience, and I truly want to bring you the truth, because I've been there. I've been on my knees asking God why he has forsaken me, and I truly believe it is the nemesis, the poison, the diarrhea, the noise of the mind, and overthinking. And that's what twins do on this journey. You trigger emotions telepathically, and it triggers that overthinking. And you're always thinking about what your twin is doing. And there's that fear of the twin flame. There is so much emotion in the twin flame, and I firmly believe that unless you can overcome ego, you will not come back into that physical essence if that's what you want. When you come into each other, you awaken each other. And when you awaken each other, that's when you dismantle and destroy the ego of the mind. That's what God wants. He wants you to live free of mind. And the mind is a vortex that keeps you trapped in either the past or the future. The past is anger. The past in thinking of the suffering and thinking of all the tragedy that you may have suffered. Twins have suffered severe and utmost tragedy and suffering. They have. That's why God brought you together, because it was time for the suffering to stop. And he wants no more suffering, and twins are meant to raise the vibration and spread the word of love, primarily without ego. Ego is very difficult to dismantle because we always want to resurrect the ego. When someone's attacking us, what do? We instinctively want to attack back. That's the ego and resurrecting. If you're around low vibrational people that are angry, your energy field will become angry. Freeing yourself of ego is a lifelong journey, and it's very, very difficult. And the reason you come into that essence is to free yourself of that mind and the poison and the prison of your mind. My twin and I both have been through trauma and tragedy and suffering. And that's not the way we're meant to navigate. And the reason why you come into each other is because it's time for it to end. And that suffering is keeping stuck in the ego. A lot of people come to me and say, I have no ego. Well, if you're continuing to say that you have suffered and you have tragedy, then you still have ego. Ego is exactly that. False beliefs, false identity. Dismantling your ego is living in the moment and living in the now, and not letting the past nor the future rob you of that moment, that present, that now. People often ask me too, how did you come to your twins so quickly? I've been separated for, physically separated. Separation is truly just an illusion. That's ego as well. Ego is separation. Non-ego is one. And the answer to the question is, I was able to dismantle my ego and truly live without ego, and live in the moment and live in the present and be free. And once you free yourself of ego, you are free. That to me is the number one block. It's the overthinking. And it truly, I finally came to a point where I was done with the thinking and the overthinking and, being a prisoner of the mind. It truly is the number one block. And again, I just meditated and was living in the moment. And the moment you live in the moment you live in the moment is the moment you free yourself of ego. And that's how you can navigate towards each other in that physical essence, if that's what you truly, truly want. I just want the truth to get out there. There's a lot of things that need to occur in twins in order to come back into that physical essence of each other. But ego is the number one block, because ego doesn't allow healing. Ego doesn't allow karmic clearing. Ego doesn't allow you to be free in harmonious bliss and peace within yourself. It's the nemesis on this journey. It's the block on this journey. And ego is poison. People really don't understand ego. And I talk to a lot to people about ego and the false belief system. Ego is past and future and not living in the moment. And with the past, there's anger, there's rage. In the future, there's anxiety, there's stress, there's worry, there's fear. Living in the moment, how is living in this moment right now? If you're living in this moment right now and going to, in your thinking of the past, you're actually thinking of the past in the moment. And if you're thinking of the future, you're actually thinking of it in this moment. It's a complex beast, and exactly that, it's a beast. When you dismantle the ego and peel away the false layers of oneself being, you realize what the truth is. You come to your true authenticity. You come to your inner guide. You come to your creativity. It's stillness. No mind creates stillness within. And that no mind is also helping heal your body. Ego transcends into the body. Ego can make the body ill. Lack of ego or no ego heals the body. Lack of ego brings you to light. Lack of ego takes you away from the darkness. This is absolutely the number one sign. I'm almost like a cry to you, because I hear what's going on out there, and I have been blessed with very, very critical messages to give to you. This is a gift. Gifts are meant to be given. And I'm giving this gift to you. Ego feels lack. Soul feels abundance. And I truly believe the reason we navigated to each other in such a short time was because of the dismantling of the ego. I have a lot of people that email me and question me, how did you get ego? And ego is living in the moment. Without ego is living in the moment. So I hope that gives you some clarity and some peace. It's a lot more complex than that, truly it is. But this is just a very short version of what ego can do to twin flames. Ego is regret. Ego is hurt. Ego is all of that. And sometimes we are prisoners of our own mind. And God does not want that for you. He came in and showed you the most beautiful love that you could ever receive in your life. And said, can you endeavor this without ego? Or are you going to continue to be a prisoner of your mind? You were given a gift of love. Soul-crushing, unconditional love. This is a gift, a blessing. It's also a very difficult journey of so many things. Spiritual awakening, Kundalini, ascension, dismantling that ego. When you dismantle the ego, you automatically become your higher self, consciousness. Because ego is unconsciousness. You're navigating life with blinders on, with your hands in front of your eyes, not knowing where you're going. This is a true gift for you to be on a twin flame journey. It's a complex journey. There's so much out there, and I've been missioned to message the truth. You want to talk to me about ego? Send me an email, visionaryflames1111@gmail.com. I'd be happy to help you get outside of that ego. It's a journey, lifelong. And you can live in the moment and free yourself of the poison of your mind for some time, but then it'll come back. Because the ego wants to resurrect, always. It creates a disease within us. Live free. Free your mind. Live free of ego. And you will have that bliss, that harmony, that peace, that light. Lack of ego can't live in darkness. It can only live in the light.